In a small Appalachian town where everyone knows everyone, it's hard to imagine that a man could vanish without a single trace. But on a warm spring evening in 2018, Daniel Whitaker, a beloved nurse at the county hospital, finished his shift, waved goodbye to coworkers and drove off into the quiet night. He was never seen again. For a community that prided itself on safety and neighborly trust, Daniel's disappearance was more than shocking, it was unthinkable. At first, investigators suspected a random act of violence, a robbery gone wrong or a chance encounter with danger. But as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, whispers of secrets and betrayals began to circulate through the town. And when those whispers reached law enforcement, they realized this was no random crime. Someone close to Daniel had been hiding a devastating truth. Tonight, we'll unravel the chilling case of Daniel Whitaker, a man who dedicated his life to caring for others, only to be betrayed by someone he trusted. Stay with us until the end because this story has twists you won't see coming. Before we dive in, what do you think happened to Daniel? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoy deep dives into true crime cases, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps us bring more stories like this to you. Daniel Whitaker was more than a nurse, he was a lifeline. Born and raised in Maple Hollow, a remote Appalachian town of just under 4,000 people, Daniel grew up surrounded by towering pines, winding dirt roads, and a community that functioned like a family. After leaving for nursing school in Knoxville, he returned to Maple Hollow to work at the local hospital, a modest facility with only 25 beds. His patients adored him for his kindness, his steady hands, and his knack for remembering details about their families. In a town where gossip spread faster than wildfire, Daniel's reputation was spotless. Colleagues described him as the guy who always stayed late, often taking extra shifts when others were too exhausted. He was known for bringing homemade meals to patients and even driving them home if they didn't have transportation. Daniel was the kind of person you wanted by your side in a crisis, his coworker Linda later said. Outside of work, Daniel lived a simple life. He owned a modest cabin near the edge of town, where he spent weekends hiking and tending a small vegetable garden. Friends described him as private, though not secretive. He wasn't married and had no children, but he was close to his younger sister, Rebecca, who lived 2 towns over. In Maple Hollow, Daniel wasn't just a nurse, he was part of the town's heartbeat, which made what happened next all the more disturbing. On April 12, 2018, Daniel's shift at the hospital ended at 11 p.m. He clocked out, exchanged a few words with a coworker, and walked to his silver Honda Accord parked beneath a flickering streetlight. Security footage shows him leaving the hospital parking lot at 11:12 p.m. That's the last confirmed sighting of him alive. Daniel's friends and family grew alarmed when he didn't show up for work the following morning. Calls to his phone went straight to voicemail. By that evening, his sister Rebecca reported him missing. The Maple Hollow Sheriff's Department quickly launched a search. Volunteers combed nearby woods, streams, and hiking trails. Helicopters flew overhead, and search dogs sniffed through dense underbrush. Yet there were no signs of a struggle, no abandoned car, no clue to suggest where Daniel had gone. Then, 4 days into the search, a chilling discovery. Daniel's Honda was found parked neatly on a dirt road 15 miles from town, near a popular hiking trail. His wallet, ID, and keys were all inside the car. But there were no signs of Daniel himself. At first, investigators believed he might have gone hiking and gotten lost. But locals immediately doubted that theory. Daniel was an experienced outdoorsman and knew the area well. Daniel could have navigated those woods blindfolded, one resident said. Still, without evidence of foul play, authorities had few leads. Weeks passed. Rumors began to swirl. Some suggested Daniel had run away to start a new life. Others whispered about drugs, affairs, and money troubles. But those who knew Daniel best dismissed the gossip. Something sinister had happened, they insisted, and it wasn't random. Small towns often have a charm about them. Porch swings, friendly neighbors, and a sense of safety. But Maple Hollow had secrets. As investigators dug deeper into Daniel's life, they discovered that beneath his calm exterior, he'd been struggling. A search of his cabin revealed something unexpected. A box tucked beneath his bed containing letters from a man named Tyler Harper. Tyler, a former paramedic who'd worked with Daniel years earlier, had left Maple Hollow abruptly in 2017 after rumors of substance abuse. The letters were intimate, revealing a romantic relationship Daniel had kept private. In Maple Hollow, same-sex relationships weren't openly discussed, and friends believed Daniel had kept his personal life secret to avoid gossip. Investigators wondered, had Tyler returned to town? Witnesses came forward saying they'd seen a man matching Tyler's description near Maple Hollow days before Daniel disappeared. When police tracked Tyler down in another state, he denied any involvement but admitted he'd been in touch with Daniel recently. "We were talking about meeting up," Tyler said, "but I had nothing to do with him going missing." Meanwhile, phone records revealed Daniel had been receiving threatening text messages in the weeks leading up to his disappearance. The messages were sent from a prepaid phone and warned him to stay away from someone unnamed. For the first time, investigators publicly acknowledged foul play. "We believe Daniel's disappearance was not voluntary," the sheriff's office said in a press conference. The revelation shook Maple Hollow. Who would want to harm Daniel, a man loved by so many? The investigation stalled until a local woman named Karen Mills came forward. Karen, who lived near where Daniel's car was found, reported seeing a pickup truck parked nearby the same night Daniel vanished. The driver, she said, was a man she recognized, Sheriff's Deputy Mark Danner. Danner was a respected officer and longtime family friend of the Whitakers. He'd even worked with Daniel on community health initiatives. At first, investigators hesitated to pursue the lead. Danner had no criminal record and was well liked in town. But a review of Danner's phone records showed something alarming: multiple late-night calls and texts exchanged with Daniel. Further digging revealed that Danner had been having a secret romantic relationship with Daniel while still married to his wife of 15 years. The discovery rocked the community. Danner had publicly supported family values initiatives and was known for his conservative views. Investigators believed Danner feared exposure of the affair, and when Daniel threatened to come forward, things turned deadly. When questioned, Danner denied everything. But forensic evidence soon tied him to Daniel's disappearance. Tire tracks near Daniel's abandoned car matched Danner's truck, and a single strand of Daniel's hair was found in the vehicle's bed liner. Under mounting pressure, Danner confessed. He'd confronted Daniel on the night of his disappearance. An argument escalated, and in a panic, Danner struck Daniel with a heavy flashlight, killing him instantly. Danner later led investigators to a shallow grave in a remote clearing. The community's beloved nurse was finally found, his life stolen by someone he trusted. The arrest of Deputy Mark Danner sent shockwaves through Maple Hollow. Residents struggled to reconcile the friendly, dependable officer they knew with the man who'd committed such a brutal act. At his sentencing, Danner wept openly, apologizing to Daniel's family. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. For Rebecca Whitaker, Daniel's sister, the pain never fully healed. "Daniel gave so much to this town," she said in a tearful statement. "He deserved love and happiness, not betrayal." The case left Maple Hollow forever changed. Neighbors became cautious. Trust eroded. And the myth that nothing bad ever happens here was shattered. Daniel Whitaker's story is a tragic reminder that even in the most picturesque communities, darkness can hide in plain sight. Behind smiles and small-town charm, secrets can fester, and sometimes those secrets turn deadly. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the heartbreaking case of Daniel Whitaker. If this story moved you, take a moment to honor Daniel's legacy by spreading kindness in your community, just as he did every day. What do you think drove Mark Danner to murder? Could this tragedy have been prevented? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to see more stories like this, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a case.